Welcome back to this part 4 of Little White Books, the unofficial and untold story of the Mr. Men, told in their own words. To start us off, this is Mr. Sneeze.
Coldland isn't the kind of place you leave without a reason. When I came down here, people thought it was the sneezes, blowing houses over like they were made of playing cards. But that wasn't it, not really. I left because I couldn't stand the silence anymore. Snow told me to sit tight, to keep things calm. Just tell me what you did. So I packed my things and came down, pretended to be a friend. Mr. Snow sent me to keep guard, a house sitter. But the truth, I came here to find answers. The problem with answers is they don't come cheap. And sometimes, by the time you get them, they're not worth what you've lost along the way.
Well, to get the whole 9 yards on Mr. Sneeze, you need to talk to Lazy.
Hi, Mr. Lazy. Last time we spoke, you described having to sneak away from your house. Can you tell me who you were evading back then?
Oh, Mr. Sneeze. He'd come down from the North Pole, apparently to house-sit for Happy, who was pretending to be Mr. Bounce. But Happy was still sleeping there, so he needed somewhere with a spare room. He told me my house was closest to Happy's. It's also quite far from Nonsense Land.
Go back to where you came from and take your filthy white snow with you.
But he didn't mention that.
So, house-sitting and yet living with you and keeping an eye on you. What did you think was really going on?
I thought perhaps Happy was hiding something in my house, thinking Sneeze could be sneaking it in while I was asleep. I knew about the shrinking box, so could have been that. But I never found anything.
Did you like him? Were you friends?
Not at first, but then the wizard, the insomnia curse.
I need to teach one of you a lesson.
The trouble with curses is you don't know how long they're going to last. Could have been forever. I got more and more tired and weak and thought this was it. The wizard had found a way to undo me. Sneeze cared for me, not in an insincere way, but I wondered why he had wrinkles and laughter lines around his eyes. He's patient and calm, as if he's cared for many others before me, like a nurse or a parent.
Did he tell you about Coldland, about his life, his history?
He didn't have one. Mr. Men don't have any memory of anything before the bus. One night, he stayed up all night to keep me company. He drank brandy to keep himself warm, so I just kept topping up his glass.
What sort of things did you talk about?
As carefully as possible, I put the idea to him that maybe we all used to be human. I told him the story about Mr. Rush's car, the old one, not the Maserati.
And this is Mr. Rush.
When I first arrived, I found my house easily enough, and parked in the driveway was a car, a sleek, fast motor, and the kind of thing you'd expect someone called Mr. Rush to drive. I had the keys in my hand, so naturally I thought I'd take it for a wee spin. But when I opened the door to get in, I realised the problem. It wasn't made for me. I couldn't even get in the driving seat. Not because I'm triangle-shaped, just wasn't made for Mr. Men. The seats, dashboard, the space, it was all designed for humans. The whole thing was awkward and plainly embarrassing. In the end, I was relieved to see the back of it. Oh, but it was made by Vauxhall.
This is Mr. Fussy.
I walk with a slight limp and also have a long scar on my leg. I went to see Dr. Makewell and he did an x-ray. I couldn't believe what I saw. There was evidence that the leg had once been broken. Now the whole thing was held together with metal and even some screws.
Lazy's curse wore off after 3 days, but by then, after the suffering I'd seen, I swore that if I ever saw that wizard, if I had the chance, then I'd make him pay.
Mr. Lazy sleeps through night and day. Mr. Sneeze can't keep the cold at bay. And when the evil wizard comes to call, no one rests in sleepy land at all.
So carry on, it's late into the night and Sneeze is full of brandy. What did he reveal?
Something bad, something to do with Happy. Said he'd been sent by Mr. Snow to house it, but really, he was searching. A slow, methodical fingertip search, looking for anything about how Happy could change the books. That's what Sneeze said. Then, he passed out. I'd been wrong to distrust him. My entire understanding of who he was built up from the idea that he worked for Happy, that he was spying on me for his boss. But he wasn't. He was one of us, the Resistance. I dragged him to bed, and his little arms slipped out from under his fur. He always kept those arms hidden, but when I saw them, I thought they were all covered in bruises or scars. Then I realised they were tattoos.
Tattoos? Wow, where did they come from? Did you find out?
Well, years later, he told me. I went up to his house in Coldland. This was before Mr. Snow bought it and had it all renovated. He said the tattoos had always been there. He hated them. Swore me to secrecy. Didn't even want people knowing he had arms. I went for a little walk in Coldland, wondering if tattoos were normal up there. But no. No tattoo shops, no shops at all. Just cold people with red noses.
So house sitting, how long did the Mr. Bounce thing go on for?
4 months. Till the town hall meeting. It all went a bit.
Mr. Fussy, can we go back to your friendship with Mr. Nosey? How did that come about?
I call him the Nose. I saw him coming a mile off, but I was impressed to see he knew some of the basic methods. Looking for blind spots, open windows, and so on.
Fussy calls it assessing the perimeter, but I just call it seeing if there's a back door. But it was bin night, so I knew if there was anything to learn, then that would be a good way to find out.
But he didn't see me coming. As soon as he lifted the lid, I jumped out the bin and punched him square on the nose. We've been good friends ever since.
Last time we spoke, you were telling me about the arrival of Mr. Clumsy.
Wow. It's interesting, isn't it? That my story is only defined by his existence. My book gives the following information. A long-lost cousin appears on my doorstep, apparently hailing from Australia. He causes havoc to my otherwise perfect OCD world and subsequently damages my property before leaving. Once repairs have been completed, I'm then visited by Mr. Bump.
Yes, that all sounds familiar. So what happened instead?
Well, the real story is we had to keep Clumsy under wraps for as long as possible, as it was of huge strategic importance. We used Strong's new worm tunnels to transport him across the board where we needed him. But whenever he was back at home base, something had been broken. Ouch.
Nosey, what did you make of Mr. Clumsy?
I was surprised. If Fussy needed a body double, then Clumsy could probably do it if he wore a hat and a corset.
Yeah, he's my twin, and I love him. End of story. But back then, it'd be unseemly to see smashed windows and a broken front door. It'd blow my cover, and I'd no longer be invisible in the eyes of Happy.
So with your house falling apart, what did you do?
Well, as indicated in my book, I invited Mr. Bump to stay for a while. If anyone saw the damage, well, they'd quickly assume it was him.
I was the first to notice that Clumsy's house started to appear just up the road from Fussy. At first it was just a square area of land with a fence. The next day, the outline of where the house would appear on the ground. If I had noticed, so had Happy.
Well, I'd been hoping to wait until Mr. Tickle's birthday party, but we had to move forward with the plan even though we weren't ready.
We needed everyone in one place, all Mr. Men, no exceptions. This would have forced Happy's hand to appear either as himself or bounce. I called Mr. Noisy and Mr. Chatterbox to ensure everyone knew to be at that town hall at 8 p.m. for an emergency meeting.
Oh yes, it was all very exciting. I had lots of questions, and I was even questioning my own questions. Do you ever do that, or is it just...
Did I mention Clumsy had been hidden underground for 4 months? When he was allowed up for air, Fussy was trying to train him into some kind of ninja spy. It was ridiculous. Would have been funny if Fussy didn't actually believe it could work, but this was it. Clumsy's time had come. The secret mission only he could do, while everyone else was looking the other way.
Mr. Clumsy, you've got a secret mission. Don't mess it up, we're all counting on you! Good luck with that! No, really? Good luck with that.
Well, we called a town hall meeting, and it was of the utmost importance that all Mr. Men were at the meeting so there could be no witnesses.
As long as Happy would be convinced that everyone was in the meeting, then he's let his guard down.
Well, we were able to chaperone Forgetful, Dizzy and Muddle to get them where we needed to be.
That sounds incredibly well organised. How did you get them to come?
I said Mr. Man had died.
I don't think most of them know the meaning of death, but it sounded serious.
I told Clumsy that he had to run for it and not use the tunnels. All it took was a wrong turn, and time would be lost. His timing had to be spot on too. Clumsy could have also been walking into a trap.
I wouldn't even trust him to make me a bowl of cornflakes. I did, however, give him full permission to destroy the place. Keep it simple.
No, I didn't think he was capable of his mission. He is barely capable of doing his shoelaces up, but Fussy was convinced that because he was brilliant and clever, so would be his twin brother. It was about 7:50 p.m. when I got there, and people were more confused than scared. Mr. Snow always chairs these kind of things, and he was setting up a lectern and a microphone.
Well, I positioned us each at an exit, so we could not only see the stage, but also if someone did leave, well, they'd have to get past us. So there were lots of people doing head counts and just trying to work out if their friends were okay.
To get a better understanding about how the Mr. Men understand the concept of death, I had to pay a visit to a prison in Paris.
You cannot kill one of the Mr. Men. You can undo us, erase us forever. Some are easier to undo than others, depending on our identity. For example, you could attempt to undo Mr. Skinny by overfeeding him. This has been attempted. Stopping me from being naughty has also been attempted.
Prison de la Santé is the current place of residency for an individual with a dark reputation. You'll know her as Miss Naughty. What happens to those who try? Are they brought to justice like you?
Yeah. Yes, on occasion. Attacks from a particular wizard were frequent, claiming he was teaching us a lesson. This was not acceptable. He was punished.
While we're on the subject of wizards...
Stop! I have not finished. The only occurrences of Mr. Men having been undone was at the hands of other Mr. Men. And not by whom you'd expect. This is the final thing I'm going to say on this, because I have no more that I wish to say on the matter, but I will leave you with this question. How do you undo a bounce?
Where's Mr. Bones? He's gone from sight, like lambs that shift in the night. What about these worms digging beneath our feet? Are they going to eat us, farming us for meat?
There's no sign of Happy and no sign of Bounce. I assume Happy had just squashed him, but it was entirely possible that he was still locked away in a cage under Mr. Happy's floorboards.
Everyone there, apart from Happy. Where is he? 8:05, and sweat was appearing above Fussy's face, hoping Clumsy would be okay.
Has anyone brought any snacks?
You should have eaten before we came out.
Mr. Greedy. Have you tried eating a worm yet? They're awfully tasty.
Someone please pick me up. I can't see.
Mr. Sneeze.
The fault lines were obvious. Strong had taken his football team idea to heart and was barking orders at the other Red Mr. Men. Bump stood opposite, handing out blue ribbons, calling me over like a star signing. The center was empty, no man's land. A few sat to one side, staring at the walls to avoid eye contact, not speaking, not even looking at each other. And at the back, another group were playing some kind of game, laughing as if this was all perfectly normal. The hall had split. Teams, gangs, fragments. This was where it all began.
I asked a few of the others what they remembered about these so-called teams.
My team wanted to cut off Wizard's fingers. There wasn't many people on my team, just me.
I'll join your team, Mr. Mean.
No, you won't. Go away.
My team were all pink. We just wanted snacks.
Is the coffee machine broken again? We need to tell Happy.
Mr. Muddle to tell Happy about house collapse sinkhole. Big worm concerns. Underground dangers.
Try that in English.
Get out of my way. I'm going to talk to Happy first.
But the one thing that united everyone was we all looked to Happy for answers. Somehow he positioned himself as the single point of truth, second only to the little white books themselves.
8:15 and still no Happy. Out of fear that the crowd would give up and walk out, Strong decided to get on stage to start the meeting. I still can't believe what he said.
This is a very sad day, but I want to tell you all at once, rather than some of you hearing about it from someone else. Today I saw a yellow Mr. Man get squashed and killed. There was nothing left, just a flat circle of yellow, so I couldn't tell if it was Happy or Mr. Bounce.
Mr. Bounce? Gosh, to be fair, I hardly knew him. I mean, he seemed very nice, but I didn't talk to him all that much. He usually just bounced away.
Be quiet, chatterbox.
I want us all to have a minute of silence whilst we reflect on how important we all are to each other.
So where's Happy?
A minute of silence starting now.
Minute of silence? More like minute of hell? I don't know who thought of...
None of it mattered, because we just needed to stall for time.
I now want to talk about how troubled I am by what I feel is worship of Happy. He is our equal. He is not special at all. And what's more, I think he's been lying about Mr. Bounce. I want him here, and I want answers. Who's with me?
Not interested.
Not me.
No way.
I'd best be going.
You should be happy. Believe me. I am happy. We can be free.
Hello? Hello? Right, so, it was 7:55 p.m, and I'm running as fast as I can to Happy's house. And I'm looking around, making sure no one else can see me, but, there's no one there because they're all at the town hall. Yeah. So far, so good. Yeah. Ooh. Ouch. I got to his door at exactly 8 p.m. But before I could open it, I could hear voices inside. And I froze. The first thing I thought was someone had beaten me to it. I was too late, but then I realised it was Mr. Happy's voice. He was still in there. Oh, well, I tried to remember if we planned for this, but I couldn't remember what the plan was, so I just hid behind the dustbins.
And you did this without making any noise, nothing at all?
No. Fussy had trained me on that, you see. Yeah, I've learned not to tiptoe and just walk slowly and calmly. But I didn't know what to do. And then I saw Happy come out, but he locked his front door. Yeah. I looked under the welcome mat and I accidentally smashed a plant pot, so I just panicked. I just ran away. Ran as fast as I could in the opposite direction. I was so ashamed. I thought to myself, why had I been chosen for this? But then I remembered what Fussy had said, that he thought I was as brilliant and as brave as him, but I'd lost my memory. He said I was the best possible person for the mission, and that he told me that, he believed in me. What was that? Huh? So I went back and I walked all around his house, and then I saw the kitchen window was still open. Yeah. So I was able to climb in that way. Yeah, there had been a pile of pots and pans on the sink, but I just took a deep breath and carried on.
Oh no, I really liked Mr. Bounce.
Turmoil all around him, and yet still, with a big smile.
Out of the way. Let the man through.
He walked down the hall towards the stage, and I reckon he made eye contact with every last one of us.
I've heard a rumour. They say I've been impersonating Mr. Bounce. Imagine that, me, bouncing. Sounds like one of your funny jokes, doesn't it, Mr. Funny? Or maybe it's not a joke at all. Maybe it's a lie. But lies don't just appear, do they? Someone tells them, someone starts them. So tell me, who's lying to us and what are they hiding? There's another rumour, less amusing. They say tunnels are being dug beneath our homes, that sinkholes are opening up where solid ground used to be. Muddle's house vanished, just gone, swallowed up. The worms are burrowing deeper now. I hear them at night. And the wizards? They keep returning. Maybe they're working together. I don't feel safe at home anymore, do you? I don't know who among you I can trust. Someone knows something, but they're not telling. We're being kept in the dark. Did you turn the lights on?
Oh, no. That means I could have been seen. I had to use a torch, but I knew what I had to look for. I also had to find any documents, photographs or other clues. And, if possible, the shrinking machine and maybe even the real Mr. Bounce, dead or alive.
And did everything go to plan?
Yeah. My bag got caught in the edge of a bookcase and I tried pulling it away, but I knocked it all over. Then I heard a creak of floorboards and realised someone had been with me the entire time. So I said, "Hello, Mr. Bounce?" Yeah, but it wasn't Mr. Bounce. No. It looked like Mr. Happy, but it was a ghost. "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm nobody. But soon I will be somebody. I will be Mr. Bounce."
And then there's you, Mr. Strong. Did you claim Mr. Bounce was killed, like a worm? Do you think that's even possible? What a weird thing to say. You arrived early, didn't you, Strong, without a book? Who were we to know what you really are? Angry Mr. Strong. I remember how you got so angry when you lost that election. It was just a bit of fun, a game. And yet you wrecked Mr. Snooty's window. All that terrible rage, that doesn't sound like one of the Mr. Men at all. Where do your powers come from? A wizard? Is that why you had no book? Oh, that reminds me of your book, Fussy. Do you remember? What was his name? Oh, that's right, Mr. Clumsy. Whatever happened to him?
I said it was just like in the book. He came from Australia and then went back there.
Like a magician, Happy stepped back to where the curtains were closed, pulled a cord, and revealed a large, blown-up photograph. Strong, Clumsy, and an army of worms, digging their tunnels underground, laughing faces framed as if mocking the crowd's stupidity. The tension and aggression in the room focused like a laser on Strong. If Happy was the solution to everything, then Strong became the problem. Nearly all the Mr. Men turned on him, throwing furniture, trophies, crockery. Though it all bounced off Strong with ease, the rejection struck deep into his heart.
In episode 4 of Little White Books, the cast, in order of appearance, were Richard Ashwell as Mr. Fussy and Mr. Clumsy, Chris Hirst-Bartlett as Mr. Lazy and Tickle, Michael M. was Rush, Benjamin Goff played Nosey, Jamie A. was Strong, and Velenzia Spearpoint played Miss Naughty, with additional appearances by Rob Jones, Mike Morris, Pete Hazell, and Pete McGiffen. No Mr. Men or Worms were harmed in the making of this production.
This production is unofficial and not connected to, approved by, or licensed by the rights holders of the Mr. Men and Little Miss characters. All rights to the original Mr. Men and Little Miss characters and stories belong to FOIP, a Sanrio company. You'll also hear versions of the theme song, All Friends Together, throughout the series. The original was written by Dave Cook. The Mr. Men and Little Miss characters were originally created by Roger Hargreaves. The books are published in the UK by Farshaw, an imprint of HarperCollins, and in France by Hachette Jeunesse.
Thank you, Mean. That was perfect.
Oh, very kind. I'm glad you're happy. Huh.